All right, so sitting up nice and tall, allowing yourself to settle into a relaxed position, shoulders relaxed. You can close your eyes for a moment if you like. Hands can be just placed on your thighs, palms down for now. And what we're going to start with here is just an easy flexion and extension. So you're going to inhale to round your back, let your hands slide down your thighs. And as you exhale, you're going to start to articulate your spine to come back upright again and squeeze your shoulder blades and slide your arms back. Lift your heart, lift your chest. Careful not to let your head drop. Inhale, start to round again. As you exhale and you start to bring your head back, elongate the neck so that you're not dropping. You're reaching back, but you're not dropping. Inhale to come forward again. Inhale right into the whole back, from tail to crown. As you exhale, slide your hands back, squeeze your shoulder blades and open your chest. Feel the collarbones spinning wide. Inhale, start to come forward again, rounding the spine. And then exhaling to come up. We're going to change the breathing now. So inhale, stay here. And this time, exhale to go into flexion. So exhale, use your core muscles to create that flexion. And then as you inhale, feel how nice it is to inhale and really open up the whole front wall of your spine. Exhale, start to round again, rolling the arms forward, just sliding them down. And then inhaling to come all the way upright. We're going to do that 3 more times. So down on the exhale, inhaling to come back open. Exhale, go down again. Inhale to open. You've got 1 more of those. Exhale to roll, slide down, roll the spine, and then inhale, come all the way up, squeeze those shoulder blades, and then just come right up to vertical. Reach the arms up on the inhale, and as you exhale, take your right hand and place it on your head and let your opposite hand flex at the wrist and then make circles with the wrist. Just going into those wrist circles and then go the other way. Good. Now you're going to hold the arm somewhat rigid and add circles from the shoulder joint. Notice how that changes the experience at your neck. And go the other way. The circles can be whatever size you want them to be. That works good for you. And then just release that arm down. Lift up your head and turn your head to your right and then drop your chin. From there, slide your opposite shoulder down your back and really tuck your chin, and notice how that stretches the upper trapezius, which is the muscle that goes right up into the base of your skull. And then come back upright again and turn your head. We're going to do that same thing on the other side. So inhale, you're going to exhale, take the opposite hand, oops, the other way, on my opposite hand, press all the way out and then make some circles with your wrist. This should feel really good going the other way. One thing I really like though is when you make the arm rigid and then make the circles from the shoulder. Doesn't that feel really nice? You can really sense the stretch all the way 3-dimensionally around the shoulder. Go the other way. Beautiful. Then let the arm just drop down. Let your head come back up to vertical. Turn and then drop your chin. Pull that right shoulder back so you're getting that shoulder blade down your back, and that'll open up and expose this whole front part of your collarbone and shoulder. Stay there. Tuck the chin a little bit more. Take a deep breath into that neck space. 1 more time like that. Inhaling nice and deep. And then coming back up and then facing front again. From there, we're going to take our hands and just place them here at the chest, pushing them together in prayer position. But what I want you to really do is lift up and try to keep the hands pressing together. Try not to elevate your shoulders, but to straighten your arms out. From there, open your hands, go wide, feel your shoulder blades sliding down and back. Inhale, come back in. Try not to elevate the shoulders here, and then squeeze the shoulder blades down and back. So you're working with some tensional integrity here. Inhaling to come up so you can feel how you're rigidifying your arms so that you've got some good tensional integrity through the whole shoulder blade area. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades back and down. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhaling to come up. Exhale, pulling back and down. 2 more like that. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, back and down. Beautiful. 1 more time like that. Inhale. And exhale, pulling back and down. Beautiful. Okay, relax your arms. And now you're gonna cross your hands at your shoulders like this. You just cross your arms in front. We're gonna be doing a circular pattern from your rib cage. So you know how your rib cage sits on your pelvis. Try to elongate right now, pulling up. And then as we start to do the motion, we're gonna start in flexion. You're gonna think of the top of your head, making a circle going toward your right. And again, you're not dropping your head, you're just reaching it, making a circle behind, and then coming all the way to the side again. So the motion is happening at the rib cage, but the driver of the motion is the head, so that you don't let it just hang there. Coming through that round, this is called your thoracic spine, the part of the spine where the ribs attach. And you can make a circular pattern because the ribs are circular. Let's change it now and go the other way. So leading with your head, make that whole rotation. This should feel really nice. This is the part of the spine that often gets stuck together, right where the ribs end and the lower back starts. Sometimes people get rigid right there, and you want to try to mobilize that. Inhaling back, exhaling around. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling back, and 1 more time. And then just drop your head and then lift back up. You might feel a little bit dizzy sometimes from things like that if you're not used to making circular patterns. So just be conscientious of elongating for a moment here and just breathing. Think of your tailbone descending downward as the base of your skull goes upwards. So take a deep breath in. And exhale to release. Good. We're going to come off of our sitting device, whatever that may be for you. Okay. And we're going to come into a quadruped position, which means you're on all fours like this, and your spine is meant to be in this nice long spine position. Now the natural curves of your spine would mean that you would have a little bit of an arch right here. That's normal, okay? You don't want it to be hanging down, but you also don't want it rounded. So try to feel like you've got your little arch there, and then your buttocks bones can be spread out pretty wide. From there, walk your hands a little more forward and then start to push back and forth, allowing your pelvis to push back and then allow it to come forward. So we're just going between this neutral spine hinge pattern back and forth. This is a mobilizer for the shoulder, so push through your hands and then pull through your hands. Okay, so I'm going to add to that. I'm going to add this articulation. So when we come back here, we're going to be extended. But as we start to go forward, we're going to round the spine into cat stretch position. And then when you get here, you come into neutral and you push back. Inhaling to come into that cat rounding position, and then exhaling to push back. These are called undulations. So, hey, we live near a seaside town, right? We're a seaside town. We got to do a little bit of wave quality to our bodies. Get that ocean rhythm. Inhale, coming through. Exhale, pushing back. This should feel really nice. Very fluid pattern. The spine has spinal fluid, and this helps to increase that fluid flow. And pushing back. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhaling, coming forward. Exhale, pushing back, and 1 more time. And then push it back. Now, just bring your big toes together, open your knees, and sit back on your heels for a nice, easy child's pose position. Allow your arms to reach. And start to breathe through the entire spine now. Elongate that breath all the way up and down, going wide and long with the breath. From there, you're just going to sit back on your heels and then come back to that all fours position. We're going to do a wrist mobilizer here. So what you do is turn your wrists, turn your hands so your fingertips are facing your knees with your arms straight. Then you're going to just push back a little bit through your pelvis, and you're going to feel a really nice stretch through the front of the wrist. You can add little tiny pulses, make sure they're tiny, just really little ones like that. Excellent. And you should be feeling that all in this front part of your, the back part of the wrist, I should say. Okay, the other way to do it now is to go the other side. So we're going to take the knuckles and place them down. And what's important is you don't put weight forward here. You want to put your weight back. So you don't want to press too far forward. Just press down into your arms, into the knuckles, the roots of the fingers. Feel that? Whew. And release and shake that out. Excellent. So from here, we're going to do some hip mobilizers. So you're going to take your right foot, cross it over the left at the ankle, and then you're just going to push your hips back and forth, just swinging the hips sideways. And then take your hands and push like you're shifting with your hands. And that's going to give you a really nice stretch. Next time you come to the right side, which is where your foot is crossed over, you're going to push and then go back. and then push back and forth a few times. That should feel really good. This is a groin mobilizer, so you're probably feeling that all around different parts of the pelvic area. One more like that, and then come back up. Take that right foot and bring it out to the side and flatten it. Then push back and forth. Your toes are facing forward. You just get that nice inner thigh stretch. Do that a couple more times. And then come back to center. Take that same arm, the right arm, and keep the left arm straight. You're going to reach underneath and thread the needle 3 times, pulsing. 1, 2, then put your hand on your forehead as you rotate and pull your elbow skyward. Do that again. Inhale, pulse, 2, 3, exhale, rotate. One more time. Pulse, 2, 3, and rotate. Place that hand down there. Take the leg bone and rotate it outward from the hip socket, and then push back and forth again. A little bit more hamstring on this one. Still inner thigh. Beautiful. One more time like that, and then take that leg down. We're going to do the whole thing on the other side. So cross the left foot over the right, and then just wag your tail. Nice and easy back and forth. And just explore that sensation you might be feeling in the lateral, the outside part of your glute. Been working hard in other classes. Josie's class works a lot of glutes. You probably felt your glutes after that today. Okay, now when you get to that left side next time, push back while you're over to that side and really drive it through your right hand or your left hand. Yeah, it's your right hand. If you're on your left, push. And then come back up and then take that foot and bring it out to the side. Make sure your toes are facing in front, and then just push back and forth. This is important, the push-pull aspect of it. So you're pulling forward and you're pushing with your hands back. You're doing that so you're getting that good core connection. Shoulder girdle stability as well. Back and forth. Great. Now we're going to stabilize in the center. Take the left hand, reach it under, keeping the right arm straight. Pulse. 2, 3, hand on the forehead, and push the elbow up. There you go. 1, 2, 3, and lift. Beautiful. One more. 1, 2, 3, and lift. Now you're going to take that leg and rotate it from the hip socket out, and then start to push back and forth again. So one of those positions will feel more intense for some of you than the other. We're going to do that 2 more times. And then you're going to just come back to center. And from there, we're going to just walk the hands forward, turn the toes under, and we're going to come into the downward dog position. But if you took my class yesterday, my yoga class last night, we talked a lot about the mechanics of getting into downward dog. Everybody says, okay, downward dog, but really, do you know how to do it? So I would walk your feet back a little, and then start to push back and forth before you lift. There's a point where you get so far back, like your buttocks is just around your heels, and then you should lift up. So that's how it should be done. Let's try that again together. So you're on all fours, and you're going to push back and forth. Spread your buttocks bones as you go back. And then on the third one, when you get your buttocks bones back towards your heels, then you push up, and you come into that position. That's the safest way for your spine. Now take your feet and start to pedal them. Just pedal the heels, bending the knee, and just notice how that feels. Spread your toes when you do that, and spread, really press through the heel bone, okay? Then from there, take your left foot and put it in the center. Take your right leg, bring it up in the air if that's comfortable for you, and try to extend it all the way up skyward. And from that position, bend your knee, and then drive your pelvis so that your toe is trying to touch the opposite side. So you're trying to kick that right foot all the way over. So you're gonna feel a big opening through the right side. Stay there, take a breath in. One more. Now slowly start to unrotate the pelvis, come back through, put that foot down, and then release back to your knees. Push back and forth again. We're going to come up on that third repetition. So the next time you go back, you're going to spread your buttocks bones, turn your toes under, push up into that downward dog position. Keep your knees really bent here. If the knees are bent, you can really focus on the spine. Take your right foot to the center, lift your left leg, bring it all the way up straight, trying to keep first the pelvis straight. And then we bend the knee, and then the knee drives the pelvis into that rotation, so the toes reaching to the right side of your body. You're reaching all the way across the midline. Big stretch. Continue breathing. And then you bring your pelvis back to that symmetrical position. Bring your foot down, drop down onto your knees again, and then push back, big toes together, knees apart, into that child's pose. Let your palms relax. Face them upward. Take the time here to really breathe into the entire back body. And then from there, we're going to come all the way up, come into a sideways position. Excellent. I hope that was good for you. It worked all right. We're going to start with ourselves in this position where we're in a mermaid position. It's called a mermaid position in Pilates, where we have the leg, the shin is straight in the front from knee to ankle. And then this leg right here is going to go into the straight position. Okay, so now you're going to take this arm and reach it across the body. And I want you to push from your hand on the floor, the right hand, push with your left hand and push. Whatever hand is the forearm is down, push into that as you reach. And then from there, I want you to take that arm, thumb goes back and open all the way to the back. That should feel really nice. Then go overhead, side bending away from the mat and come back. Okay, we're going to do that again. So you're going to reach out, pulling your arm across. Then you're going to come back through that T position, go to the back, and then you're going to side bend, pushing away from the mat. Really nice stretch. Come back to the T position. Inhale to reach forward, really walk that hand along the floor forward. As you exhale, start to come through, and then you can inhale to open the chest to the back. And then exhale, go into that big side bend. One more time on this side. Inhale, come into that reach forward, rotation of the spine. Exhale, come through your T, and then all the way to the back. Inhale. Exhale, come into your side bend position. Now stay there and really reach through your long leg side. Push into that foot on that long leg side, and then come out. Whew, feels nice. Okay, other side. So we want to first get our position. So this knee to ankle is in a straight line, and then your forearm goes down, and then you lengthen this leg, okay? And from there, this arm that's on the floor, push into it so that you feel the integrity. If you sink here, you'll feel the collapse, right? So push, so you start to engage, reaching this arm up in the air. We then rotate toward the floor, and we reach as far as we can with that hand. So take a nice deep breath in there. Exhale, come through the T position, and then inhale to reach back. You might feel an increased range of motion in one of these directions. Let's just go forward again. We'll add that side bend later. So you're reaching through your arm, getting that rotation, push into that hand on the floor, and then come back into that open chest. Reach the arm back only as far as it goes, and then come back again. Good. This time we'll add the side bend. So first we're reaching, getting that rotation, and then we're exhaling through the T position, inhaling to open. And then from here, push into that arm on the floor and side bend. You'll feel your ribcage pull away, and then the top ribcage really stretches out. Come back to the T position. Inhale, rotate toward the mat. Reach that arm. Exhale, come through the T position, opening up to the back. And from there, pushing yourself into that side bend. Reach out through that long leg and come back to the T position 2 more times. Inhale to reach. Get that breath into the back of the ribs. As you exhale, come through your T position, but then inhale to open. As you exhale, try to push away from the mat, so hardly any weight on that arm right now, and reach through the long leg. And then come back 1 more time like that, reaching across the body, really get that rotation. Exhale, come back. Inhale, opening to the back. Exhale, pushing away. Really reach this time, lengthen that long leg. Come back to center, and then bring yourself back upright. Excellent. Okay, let's place the feet together. Cobbler's pose, big toes and baby toes. Pull yourself into the straight spine position. So the more you pull with your hands on those feet, and the more you push your legs down, the stronger and longer your spine will feel. Stay there breathing. Very nice. Little tiny butterfly wings, right, with those legs. Keep thinking of pressing them down. So we're going to just go 1, 2, 3, and then press. 1, 2, 3, and then press. Good, 2 more. 1, 2, 3, and press. Last time. 2, 3, and press. Beautiful. Release that. Take the right leg and lengthen it, and take your left foot and push the foot into the leg, and then just sit nice and tall for a moment. So as you push, you're going to feel your core muscles engage. And now don't push and feel how they release. So that's pretty important, right? So let's push and then turn the body. Now you've got some good integrity through your spine as you start to walk yourself forward. I'm just going to move my microphone here. Walk yourself forward. From this position here, squeeze above the kneecap, this quadricep muscle, and that will help you with that tensional integrity in the back of your leg, the hamstring. Elongate your neck now, so you're looking at your knee. Keep all the points of contact active, so pushing the foot into the leg, squeezing above the kneecap, reaching through the hands. If you want to let your head just drop down, you're in a pretty safe position now because you've activated all those muscles, so you can do that. From here, start to elongate through your spine to sit up, and then bring yourself all the way up. Perfect. We're going to go to the other side, so lengthen the leg. Let's do that body check, right? Push to activate, then turn. So you really feel the body is elongated. Squeeze above the kneecap and then start to walk the hands forward. Flexing the foot will also help you to get more of a stretch, but make sure you're squeezing the quad, that front knee. Once you get into this position where you're in the hinge and everything is active, you can start to let your head drop. And then focus on your breath. This is a great way to bring us to noontime today. Releasing any tension. And then activate everything to lift up. Coming back to center, place your feet out in front of you. You could take a strap here or a towel. And just place it around the arches of your feet and then pull yourself into this straight spine position. From that position there, squeeze above the kneecap muscles again and start to pull yourself into that hinge. And then release it for a second. So remember, the movement's coming from the pelvis, right? So the pelvis is trying to move the torso forward, okay? So that you're not rounding your lower back at all. If you can get there and don't need the strap and you want to grab a hold of your calves or your feet, go ahead and do that. And make sure your buttocks bones are back. Start to round the spine forward. You're going to feel a big back of the body stretch. If you can't squeeze above your kneecaps, the quadricep muscle, then you probably are in too deep of a stretch. You should be able to activate. If you can activate those muscles, then you know you have good integrity with no compromise. Overstretching can be a dangerous thing. You don't want to overstretch because oftentimes when you're stretching, you're not stretching muscle, you're stretching the connective tissue, and that's what gets damaged if you overdo it. So from here, squeezing those quadricep muscles, lift yourself back up. Okay, we're going to take both legs out wide. Put your hands on your two pelvic halves. There's two different halves of your pelvis. They come together at the pubic bone. What I want you to do is I want you to tilt them forward and back. Just rock on it. Okay, you should feel that bone moving. If you don't feel that bone moving, then you need to elevate your pelvis up on something, okay, to get it to move. Because if you start to bend forward and that's not moving, you're bending forward, compromising your lower back. And that's when things go wrong. So make sure you sit up on something if you have to. Or you bend your knees. Everybody try this. Bend your knees. Notice how you can move your pelvis better, okay? So that might be what you do. It's really important for you to sense it in your own body. Now I'm squeezing the quads. I'm going to start to walk. I feel the pelvis rolling, spinning forward. That's what I'm looking for. Squeezing the quadricep muscles and reaching the arms out. Elongate the spine now from the tail to the crown of the head. So you're not looking forward, you're looking down. But you're not dropping, you're elongated. Your forearms might touch the floor, the mat might touch, the elbows, sorry, the mat. Stay there breathing. Now for some of you, you might be able to go a little deeper into the stretch, but only go to where you can go and squeeze those kneecap muscles. That's your check. Your checkpoint is, can I squeeze there? If I can't, I definitely have gone too far. Stay there for one more breath in. And then start to slowly bring yourself back up. You're gonna feel how the pelvic bones now will come back and more weight will be on your sit bones, right? You rock right back. And then bring your legs in like that. And we're gonna stand for the ending because it's middle of the day, so it's not evening. So we're gonna come into standing. So just bring yourself up to a standing position. Okay, from that standing position, I want you to take your two arms now up. And I want you to elevate your shoulders. So let your shoulders elevate. Before I was asking you not to, but now I want you to reach up as high as you can, and then you're gonna bring your legs a little closer underneath your hips and go over into that side bend. Hug your arms into your head. See if you can hug your head with your arms. Tighten them. Visualize this pull coming from the deep left part of your ribs. Come back up to center, and now you'll be feeling it on the right side. So I don't want you to think about the bend. I want you to think about the reach. So reach up and over and feel that elongation. Push into that right foot. And come back to center, and then slowly lower your arms. From here, let your arms swing forward, and let the pendulum swings where the bone is allowed to just drop. So get that bend in your knees now to start to activate you from ankles to knees to hands. Beautiful. This is a little fascial release. Gets all that spring-like quality going in your body. We're gonna do that 2 more times. 1 more. And then bring yourself all the way back to standing. Take one foot, take the left foot over the right, and then reach that right arm up and stretch over. Now, if you take that left side and bring it out further, you can probably go into the stretch more. It's like a kickstand, right? You can get this big long stretch and push into the big toe of that right foot. Come back up to center. So bring it a little further away than you might think you should, and then you can lean into it like a kickstand. And take this hand right here and drive your pelvis sideways. Push the big toe down of the left foot so that you can feel you've got that good stability. Then come back to center. Stand with your legs in whatever comfortable position you can. Bring your arms up, and then slowly bring your arms down, calming the central nervous system, centering your body back again, inhaling up. Exhale, softening, releasing, and 1 more time. Inhaling up and exhaling down. And that is class.